So I make a small tutorial to present you the workflow you will use for controlling this setup we did last week in Geneva at the Zoo Club. So actually this was the LED installation with motors here. Motors were done with Sigma 6 in collaboration with GarageCube. It was part of the Mapping Festival Workshop of MadMaper team, and it was at Le Zoo at the Le Usine in Geneva. So we had a lot of participants from different places of the world, and we've been working on different things, learning MadMapper and everything. And well, I'll focus on this LED installation with motors. So actually, the motors here are connected, are receiving a DMX signal to adjust the angle. So we can make it move like this, and the DMX signal for the LEDs, the signal for the LEDs is going through the axis, so we can rotate normally infinitely without problems with cabling. So that's a few videos I can show you of the installation. So during the party. So that was a very nice setup, and I will show you some stuff we did to control it with MadMapper. So of course in MadMapper we've got everything we need to control LEDs, controlling motors since it's just one 16-bit DMX channel for controlling the angle. It's like moving a pan tilt of a moving head, so we can use either sliders, or here we use so here in the DMX fixtures I've got DMX fixtures for the position of the angle. So when the value is the luminosity here is at 50%, the fixture will be in front. It will be face to the public, and we can move it by changing the luminosity of pixels here. So what did we do? First we started like this, like having the fixtures, and sorry, this one didn't move. Oops. And putting some gradient on it. So here, if I do that, I will see in the DMX monitor the values changing. So it's flickering because it's 16 bits. So the lower, it's two DMX channels for one motor. So actually, since I have seven, so I have 7 motors with each time 4 bars, and this 2 times I have 14 motors, so it's using 28 DMX channels. So here, if I do this, I will move all the motors of the left are here. They will all take the same color, and the right motor will the same color, so the same angle. In fact, if I take this video surface and rotate it like this, then I will make a movement from front to back. Of course, because we wanted to have precise patterns, we decided to work differently and not using just video material animation to control the motors. So what we did is we used MadAI, the MadMapper AI features that is just released in beta version actually, to control the motors. And we have here a small preview of the motor position, the angle. Okay. So if I go to the video surfaces, so it's MadMapper 6. So in MadMapper 6, you place the fixtures on the video layers, and they will sample. So this fixture, which is controlling the back left engine, is actually sampling the video layers under it. So okay, so here I have this material that is actually driving the position. Oops. Okay, so actually I'm moving the back left engine. So if I go left, okay, and so what I want to show you is that if I open this material in the editor, we generated it with MadAI. So we did a few, another one before, and someone asked me, but why don't you explain to the AI that this is the pixel luminosity here is controlling motors? So I said, okay, let's go, let's try it. And the funny thing is that my first prompt is this one. We have 7 motors on the left and 7 motors on the right. Each motor position will be determined by the pixel luminosity in its section. So decompose the image in 2 horizontally and 7 vertically to make pixel brightness for motors. Motors can turn by 540 degrees. So what it did, it just did that. And then I said, okay, that's cool, but that's not what I wanted at the origin, but that's a good idea to make a preview of the angle. So then we ask, put the actual output of the shader on the left half. So we have the preview of the angle. On the right half, just fill section rectangle. Okay, so now we add this one. So we can indeed change the angle and it will control the luminosity, but we still have the preview on the left. So actually that's my MadAI history, so that all requests I did not touch the code manually at all, and the code is written here by the MadAI artificial intelligence. So okay, so that's the output of each prompt that we send to the artificial intelligence. So the right section brightness should be 0% when angle is minimum angle and 100% when angle is max angle, because actually it seems that okay, from 0 to here I already have full brightness, so it did a mistake here, and so I did this request to solve this issue. Okay, and now it's okay. Okay, it's fading. So if I set motor to 0%, I take this fixture and I go to the DMX monitor, and I can see that it's sending the value to have 50%, the very center of the motor position. So let's go back to the editor. Oops. Mean angle is minus 270 and max angle is 270, because what did it do? It did minus 540. Okay, so that was a mistake, because the preview was wrong then. It was turning too much. So now it just changed the min and max values of the parameters for each motor. So now I can go from minus 270 to 270. When motor angle is over 0, I don't see the left part motor rotating. There was some error here. They rotate from... Strange, I don't see, well, I don't remember this one. Please fix the right part with brightness angle. Make the left part engine drawing more visible, 5 times longer and twice thicker. So then we got a bigger one. So it's good that it just shows half of the LED, so we can see the direction of it. Okay, add invert parameter group with invert left / motor 1, etc. to invert right part brightness, because in fact in the setup, so if I go here, I have the new parameters it added because of this prompt. it added an invert button for each motor. So if I invert like the 6 and 7 of each, which was the case here because the two last motors were not fixed from the top, but they were sitting on the stage, so they were rotating the other way. So we had to revert those. So now if I move the position of motor 1 to minimum, it gets darker, and if I move the rotation angle of motor 7, it gets brighter, darker and brighter, yeah. So because of the invert. Okay, so that was very good. It did everything I wanted. Add a degree value to rotation indicator. That was a test, but it didn't work. I haven't tried much, but the idea was to have the text for the angle written, and it could write text, but yeah, I haven't tried to fiddle with font size and everything. Okay, so let's keep it here. Now, second step. Now we have the motor actually driving. We can store, well, I can show that. So we can make some queues. Well, actually that's MadMaper 6, so it's timelines. So I can take some positions, like imagine that I want to do something like this. Oops. Okay, let's try it. And the other way, make it symmetrical. Okay. It will be about what it should be. And I can create a timeline, and I go to the edit mode and I store all those angles. I can set a timing for the transition time, let's say 3 seconds. What did I set for the other ones? 1 second. Okay, let's make it 1 second too. And now I stored all those values in my queue here. Well, it's a timeline, but it just has value at 0, and I can switch into different position with the timelines actually. Okay, great. So now we have a super system to drive the motor with preset positions. We could also have a timeline with multiple positions in it, like animating some. So for instance, if I take all the keyframes here, select all keyframes at time, I go in this one and I will add this, and I will take keyframes here at start, select keyframes at time, copy and paste it at 4 seconds here. And now I have this. There's a mistake here. I didn't paste at the right position. I wanted to paste here maybe. Ah, shit, sorry. Okay, let's do it again. Let's take that was face. I will take those ones, select keyframes at time. Oops, I paste it at 2 seconds. Now I have to select the track here. No, I select the keyframes here, copy and select here, paste. Okay, so now I have this timeline is actually an animation that will, oops, in a loop, that will fade between the two positions. Okay, if I want to make it more, if I want to make it more without transition, I can select all keyframes and choose no interpolation, and then it will do like this. But of course, with the engine inertia, it will move not directly like this. Okay, but I love the nice smooth movement. I could even put it in auto curve and it will do something smoother. Okay, so now we have a bunch of animations. We're okay with the motors. Of course, for the live, we had much more than these 6 records. Now we want to drive the LEDs. So LEDs are here, and I have nothing under the LEDs actually. Let's show the video layers. So actually, I do the creation here. And because there is some space between the LEDs, well, of course, I could do something like this. I will explain the setup. Hop, if I take the fixtures and move it here, I need, because there is a space between them, I should do something like this, and like this, up to handle the spacing so that a diagonal across the thing or a line moving horizontally would be mapped correctly without jumping in space. That's why I did this setup where I take I take left part of the composition here, and here a right part with a space, and I put it there so I can put directly my fixtures here without spacing, and you will understand why later. So actually I've got a bunch of video layers. Let's keep just one. Let's keep just this one, for instance. And now, second big thing we did with MadAI, so is creating a 3D preview of this setup. So it's here. Okay, so actually I can put some white thing. I will put a white layer on the composition here. Oops. So we understand better. Oops. Okay. So actually I've got this preview, and that I did without writing code, just with MadAI, which is quite interesting, quite useful and powerful, and it took me, well, maybe an hour to get to this. While if I had to write, if I had to write all this code, there's not that much code, but it would have taken me more time to find the logic, to do the rematching algorithm, to do 3D and everything. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So now, what did I ask? First, I asked, so I've got this template, so default code of MadMaper. I ask in rematching, render. So rematching is the 3D technique for fragment shaders. So, well, if I asked in 3D, it would have understood that it has to do rematching technique. In rematching, render 7x2x4 rectangular shapes with ratio. So I asked some ratio because it's let's look at the prompt here. Render 7x2x4 rectangular shapes with ratio 100 units on x-axis, 5 units on y-axis. So it looks something about correct. Okay, so I decompose the problem in multiple prompts. I don't try to put all complexity in a single prompt, because the AI is better doing things like this. Second prompt, so actually I've got shapes in 3D. I have camera position, so I can move the camera in the Z direction, a field of view, and a light position. I don't know, I don't need the light, but anyway, I will remove it later. And I asked some spacing too, spacing on Z axis. Okay, I precised the spacing, but in the end I will ask him to give me the parameters. Second prompt, add parameters, camera position XYZ and vertical shape spacing. Okay, so now I have camera position X, Y and Z, X, Y, Z, so I can move in the scene, and he asked Y spacing. Okay, add parameters for shape size XYZ and shape spacing XYZ. Finally, I prefer to have all the parameters, so it did exactly what I did. It really did a great job, because actually I can scale and space my fixtures. I can do everything I need to have the look I want to have. Of course, it would be not, it would not have sense to make the space in depth, for instance, smaller than the size of the fixtures, because at the end I would have to rotate it and they shouldn't touch anyway. I just have to make the 3D preview look like the real world object. For each group of 4 vertical shapes, add an axis and as a cylinder in the middle that goes from the bottom shape to 20 units above. Okay, so it did that. It didn't exactly place my axis where I wanted, so I asked him later to add axis length and axis Y position. So I can axis, radius, okay, I don't need it to be big, Y position, so I can place it where I want, and length, okay. Will now texture the shape. No, that's the moment I want to get this animation playing on the LEDs. So that's the tricky one, you'll see. Let's look at the prompt for that. We'll now texture the shape. Each shape has 40 pixels of color on x-axis. Is that correct? I think it's 60. I think I have 60, but anyway. Add an external image texture as parameter. So this is because then I will need this visual to get this video content as an input, so I can texture my LED bars here in my scene. So if I asked him to ask an external image, it will add to the code a parameter, because we explained him, the AI, MadAI, how to add an external image. So it added this input of type image, and now it added this as an image. So I can choose whatever visual I want, but of course my idea is to use this layer. This it's actually it's preview loopback. Okay, preview loopback actually is this video output that I don't assign to any screen, but it is used because I have the internal loopback enabled. I can get the output of this video projector as a visual, as a live input, like if it was a camera. Okay, like if you have another application running that can do siphon or spout or just like a camera stream, it's a visual that you can use in any layer. So it added my external image, it understood it properly. Each shape used a different section of the image. So I tell him that each of the LED bar here, I talk to him with the word shape, because that's how I started. I said rectangular shape, so it will understand what I mean with shape. If I'm talking about LED bar at some point and shape at another, he might not understand. So each shape uses a different section of the external image. Dispatching is done like this: shape UV equals shape number on x-axis. So actually I have to make, so I have DMX bars here, and I chose, because of this setup, I think those LEDs, those 4x2 LED bars here at the bottom left, they are going to the front ones here. And I have to explain him where to take which part of the source image to take for one LED bar, and it must match what I use for the DMX. So actually I have to explain him. That's the tricky part. Shape number on x-axis divided by 2 plus pixel post in shape. So I'm telling it that shape number on x-axis will be 0 for the left ones and 1 for the right ones, for the right LED. Plus pose pixel position in shape on x-axis, and I have to explain him how to dispatch the image, because there in this direction it's more complicated, because the four LED bar here are the back ones, but they have different position on the y-axis. So in fact, in this direction here, from top to bottom, I have the mapping of back top, back second one, back third one, fourth one, and then it's the layer before in the depths. Top, second one, third one on y-axis, and that's etc. So we have a 3D stuff here. We have to map it in a 2D way, and I have to explain him how we did this unfolding of space. Then, well, it was too dark, so it was applying lighting. So I asked him to remove the lighting. Hop, now it's brighter. Set the size parameter minimum to 0.02, because I couldn't get the size as small as I wanted. There's an issue with texturing each shape. Well, we can have a look at this issue he made. If I activate the depth layers, okay. So actually, I can keep this one, whatever. Actually, if I take the depth layers animation, so that's the one with the red line, it's a line pattern animation here. I will stop it at some point. Up, okay. So actually, there's an issue here. The bar should be, because my image is fully red here, it should cover the 4 LEDs, where I asked him for each 14 shape group on vertical axis, add a rotation parameter from minus 270 degree to 270 degree to rotate this group on y-axis. And when I asked this, it just did what I do, which is great. I've got a rotation here, and I can move each of the shape with an angle between minus 270 degree to 270 degree. And if I reset all those, I get the correct preview, which is very good. And now I can yeah. So what I did, because I did some timelines, then I'll make a live demo of MadAI after that. So we did actually some recordings for some cues to change the motor positions. What I want now is that when I change this position in this place, it changes there. And how did I do that? Actually, you can see that it's already plugged. So if I start my cues now, it will do the fading of the engine position. Oops. So let's make some let's make it move depth layers, speed ups. Okay, so depth. Then I can show you a bit about how we program this. Ups. Okay, that's the animation we did before. So this one is a timeline with multiple keyframes. So actually it's moving in loop the engines. Okay, so how did I link this shader that is actually doing a brightness for the engine position to this shader, to this material that we use for previewing the output? So what I did is, because in MadMaper you can output DMX but you can also get the DMX back in as an input. So my motors are actually sending data to the network for transmitting it to as DMX to the engines and etc. I can get it back in MadMaper, and then I assigned it to my preview rotation, and then I have one control in the control list, one DMX control for each motor. So for each one I specify the DMX channel, and if it and say that it is 16-bit, so it's quite precise. Let's ask MadAI to do some more stuff for me. So in fact, I don't really like the way I have to move the camera because it's always looking front. So what I would like to ask the AI is, instead of having position X, Y, Z for the camera, I'd like to be able to rotate around the installation and always be looking at the center. So I will ask him to change the camera mode. So for the camera, instead of having pose X, Y, Z, please use latitude and longitude and distance. Camera is always looking in the direction of the center of the shapes, since we called it shapes. Let's make it fast. It's not a big deal for him to do that. So it will replace actually those parameters. Also this FOV field of view, I don't really need it. I'm not doing a very complex 3D stuff. So maybe I could ask him to remove the FOV too, so I have less parameters. The axis, also I can ask him to hardcode the value so it removes the parameters. But anyway, it's not a problem. I don't need that. I don't need that. Rotation, I don't need because it's controlled with DMX. I need camera to be able to move around, and shape is also setup stuff I don't need. Okay, so actually it changed up. I can move distance, longitude, so I can look from the back. Let's make it brighter. Let's put some gradient on it, ups with some transparency. Perspective, no. Okay, transparency. Okay, oh, like this. Okay, so now back here, longitude, latitude. Okay, I want to be somewhere by here. That's where I want to be. And distance, I can get closer to the center by changing this. It's much nicer view now. Let's remove my ups layer. Okay, maybe move a bit the latitude. Okay, so actually I just asked MadMaper to change the camera, MadAI to change the camera, the way I move the camera, and he did quite a good job doing it. Okay. Now let's try something else. Imagine, yes, okay, we did a nice party, we did a nice scenography, we're happy with that. But now a new client comes and he said, I want this, but I want it big. So I want to have not 7 layers of LED bars, but I want to have 10. So now we have 10 groups of shapes in Z axis. So Z is generally the depth, so it's from near to you to far to you. So we have 7 actually. I want set, please add the 3 missing ones. Okay, let's try it in fast mode and see what happens. It should add just new stuff here. Let's see. Let's go down a bit like this, and let's make some light onto it. Oops. Okay, now I have 10 motors. Motor left. Left is right, right is left. Okay. Okay, so I have 10 motors now. I can move around. Okay, so this is okay. Apps distance, make increase maximum distance. I can increase the FOV also. Latitude, longitude, latitude. If I look by there, the depth is too. There is a moment where he cuts, he removes. There is a maximum depth somewhere, and that's why we don't see the 10 layers. I was searching for the 10 layers. Okay, maybe because I did that. Okay, let's look at it. So now we have 10 groups of my last increase maximum distance. Okay, so it did increase maximum distance. And it also changed. Well, it fixed my other problem. This prompt fixed my other problem, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I can see my 10 layers now. Excellent. So that's how we did this this LED preview using MadAI, and we were well impressed with how MadAI solved this problem to have a preview, to be able to work at the hotel room, and to get this setup running, and how it helped us. It's a new tool. We are very happy to get into it, because it's really help artists to find technical solution for their problems without knowing the code, and it really works fine. We're really happy with the results. So I hope you enjoyed this long tutorial, and that you're not sleeping right now. Thanks for watching. Bye.